Can you be a leader of sorts and have mental health problems? Well, it's a silly rhetorical question in my mind, but as I'm really struggling at the moment with my mental health problems, as those who know me, I've got severe anxiety and depression and an acute polymorphic psychotic disorder, which is a big mouthful. But people often think with me, because I talk so much about mental health and well-being, I talk about mind and body fitness, I talk about self-care, self-love and all these things, and that's not because I don't believe them, and it doesn't mean that because I do those things and I practice them and I manage my mental health as well as possible, because we've all got mental health, it doesn't mean that I still don't have an illness. And this isn't a get the violins out vlog, but what I'm trying to explain is that then people are surprised when I have like really bad bouts of it. But the thing is, it won't stop me from having my like Squats and Sparkles Health Club, having my blogs and vlogs, doing my work for social media clients, doing my fitness, and I still keep up with my regimes no matter how bad I feel and no matter how awful my thoughts are, because the thing is, it sets me up to manage my mental health as well as possible. None of these things are ever, I don't believe, gonna totally fix my mental health problems, because in my mind, some of them, trauma I'm on a recovery journey from, and I've even got a podcast, Recovery Road, on that. And I'm recovering from certain things like eating disorders and whatnot, but in terms of my actual mental illnesses, I manage them as well as possible, and I would be in much worse a situation for longer periods of time if I didn't use writing, if I didn't use fitness, if I didn't use communities to support each other, if I didn't, most of all, have a purpose. Because if I didn't have a purpose, then, well, I just think worst case scenario. Because even though I've got mental health problems, it doesn't mean that I don't deserve to have a purpose. It doesn't mean that I don't deserve to lead anything. Yes, I know at times you have to take a step back and restore yourself, and people always say, well, you can't help others until you help yourself. But I do help myself, that's the thing. I do have a mental health team, I do have a mental health nurse, I do have like communities around me that are really supportive, and my little cheerleader bubble. I do have all those things, but it doesn't make me invincible to still having my mental illness. And it doesn't make me any less, well, even though I feel a burden to the world at the moment, it doesn't make what I do any less valuable, because actually I know in the past, when I haven't managed my mental health as well, I haven't learned all these skills and been as proactive, that actually I would be in a much worse situation for a much longer period of time, and I would be costing the government a lot more money, because I'm studying mental health at the moment, and I'm doing a lot on mental health and mental health problems, and I've spoken a lot about this because there is a difference. We've all got mental health, and that's what I'm really passionate about, is that we manage that, and we are as well as possible. And well-being isn't just not having an illness, it's for all. And there's all the 5 steps of well-being, do you know, about connection, giving, moving, and they're all vitally important. But it doesn't mean that someone with mental health problems is going to stop having mental health problems. It means they've got a better setup, a better structure to manage. But one of the things that I've realised that I've needed in life is to have a purpose. And whilst I sometimes feel like I'm my own kind of beautifully unique, very different, that's why I always say perfectly imperfect, because I've always strived for perfection, and actually I can't do that anymore. It's better just to get stuff out there, it's better just to be raw, whether it be my work online or how I deal with things. It's better just to try than not regret. And I don't want people who are doing lots of things with mental health and well-being, and if they're struggling with their own illnesses, yes, we've got to look after ourselves and take care of ourselves and make sure we've got that time to do that, but it does not give you any less of a right to speak out. Just because we've got a disability that's invisible doesn't make your purpose less. Just because you talk about mental health and well-being and fitness like me doesn't mean you're not worthy to do that. Because that's the thing, people go, well, just, stop doing what you're doing, stop going online. But if I didn't have a purpose, then my mental health would be way worse. I know it in the past when I've lost my passion and my purpose, and it sounds silly, but I have to have a reason to be able to go through all this. And even all the trauma of recent past, childhood past, there has to be a reason for me to go through it all. And that's why I found my purpose is to help other misfits like me who may be fragile, but they're strong and they've got that fire in their belly and that they can give something to the world. Yes, we're all perfectly imperfect and I make a lot of mistakes, and I'm always growing, I'm always learning, I'm always open to learning, and I'm always questioning myself whether I made the right choice or not, and I'm always reevaluating, and I try not as much negative self-talk, because I normally beat myself up thinking because sometimes I think I forget I have mental health problems, and I forget at times I am vulnerable. But really, I don't want this to be a ramble about me, but I'm trying to explain why it's still important for people like me and other people who might not be the perfect project. They might not be this, happiness guru 24/7. Well, I don't think anyone is, to be honest. They might portray that, but I very much doubt it. I would rather you see all the cracks in me, and that I can put on makeup and I can wear nice things and whatever, but that's also fine. And sometimes that's how I deal with my mental health. I've actually got a thing, the more makeup I wear is normally the more poorly I am, because I'm less comfortable. It's not always the case, but again, we're looking for stereotypes when it comes to mental health, which actually really stops a lot of people getting help because they don't fit in. And I think that's another passion of mine, because I've never fit into the box and the stereotype of the system of the check boxes. I've always ticked the other box in every area of life, even how I think. But anyway, really, it doesn't matter whatever disability you've got. I don't like the word disability, to be honest, because I think it's enabling people's superpowers. And yeah, we might be fragile in places and healing in certain places, and there's certain parts of my brain I don't think that will ever be normal. What is normal anyway? But I don't think it will ever be totally just over my illness, my disability. And that's not defeatist, because I manage it as well as possible, but it's also a sign of acceptance that I know that I have to carry on, because I haven't come this far just to come this far. Anyway, I'm just trying to explain. I know I don't have to explain myself, but I'm trying to explain why so many diverse voices are important, because whilst we might not be the finished product, I challenge you to find someone who's genuinely the finished project in life, and all we can do is challenge ourselves and grow each day, and then just try and be better. Send you all so much peace, love and shimmies. See, I'm never too mentally ill to remember my little sign off. Actually, sometimes my dyslexia does. I get it confused which way around. But again, whether we've got mental health problems or not, we still deserve to work, we still deserve to live, we still deserve to breathe. Even when you feel like a burden, you've got to know, and that's where we need our self-care and our routines that we just do, because even when we really don't feel like it, one day the wave will pass and we'll feel like it again.